If you ever feel like financial stress is weighing you down, you're not alone. Our next guest will share tips on managing debt, alleviating financial anxiety, and choosing the right tools to help you feel more secure and stress-free. Let's welcome personal finance expert Dan Nicoli, Vice President of Discover Personal Loans. Hey, Dan, thanks for joining us this morning.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Yeah, so Dan, can you share some of the interesting and surprising findings from the Discover Personal Loans survey?
Certainly. So every year, Discover Personal Loans conducts a survey to see how Americans are feeling about their financial situation. And this year, the headline was that 80% report feeling some amount of financial anxiety. And that's quite consistent with the result for the prior 2 years. So it's virtually flat. And at the top of the list of things that are contributing to their stress, we heard from them that it's high inflation and high costs of everyday expenses, which I think are not surprising. We're all feeling the pinch.
Yeah, definitely. And many people have maybe some misconceptions about managing debt. So, what are some of the top misconceptions you encounter?
Individuals with debt, I would say a top misconception is that they don't believe that they can get out of it. One third of our survey respondents said they never expect to get out of debt. And I'm far more optimistic. I think there's a lot that they can do. Particularly, I see people have success if they deploy a combination of a budgeting strategy and proactively trying to reduce the interest rate that they might be paying on their debts.
So, what practical tips do you have to help people reduce money stress and anxiety, especially for those who tend to avoid looking at their finances?
Sure. In our survey, 41% of Gen Z responded that they avoid looking at their finances entirely, particularly their bank statements. And so the steps I'm about to say are tried and true. You have to start by pulling out those statements, take a deep breath, get them ready, get a piece of paper and a pencil, and start to draw out all of the expenses line by line. Once you have them listed, you can evaluate each one and look for opportunities to either reduce it or eliminate it completely. Oftentimes, you can renegotiate the rates that you're paying with your insurance provider or try to switch providers. So, those are the types of things that we're considering in addition to eliminating completely discretionary items. And then once you create a little bit of room, you can redeploy that in a number of ways. If you don't have debt, you want to make sure you're setting aside a solid emergency fund. If you do have debt, then you want to be spending more of that money towards paying down that debt early.
And once we tackle those steps, how can a personal loan be a useful tool for managing big expenses, whether they're planned or the unexpected?
So sometimes you need the money, but you don't have that emergency fund ready. Those emergency expenses can come back to back. And if your water heater goes out, it's something you just have to take care of. And so it could be appropriate to consider a loan option as a solution. A personal loan is something that could come to your aid. So a personal loan is a lump sum that you pay back in monthly installments, and it comes with a fixed interest rate.
And what should people keep in mind when choosing a personal loan provider to ensure they get the best deal?
Yeah, not all loans are equal. It's important to first make sure you get a competitive interest rate. But beyond that, you want to look for a loan that does not charge an origination fee. An origination fee is going to come off of the top of the loan up front. So if you took out a loan for $20,000 and had a $2,000 origination fee, you'd only get $18,000 in your pocket, but you'd have to pay back the full $20,000 with interest. So origination fee is sort of a no go. You don't want to do it. And you also want to look for a provider that does not charge prepayment penalties. So I'm proud to say Discover Personal Loans has no origination fees and no prepayment penalties.
All right, Dan, thank you for all that helpful information to our viewers. You can find out more by going to discover.com/personal loans.